if for those of you who haven't heard or haven't been in the groups, I have decided to not only stop collecting
Wait
Transformers.
a minute, wait a minute. Thank you everybody for listening. If you want to hear the rest of this, go over to our Patreon. That's
Yeah, there
playing. Go
you
ahead,
go.
bro.
There
Go
you
ahead.
go.
Go ahead, bro. Welcome back for the first time, geek enthusiasts and lovers of the plastic crack. This is your safe space, free from safety. So put your hands on some plastic. It's time for toy time.
Wow.
Wow, self-deprecating like a motherfucker.
Exclusive.
We should put
Easy.
Garrett in charge of the Patreon.
Terrible. All right, so not only have I decided to stop collecting Transformers, I have decided to sell off my entire Transformer collection.
Do we can do a question and answer with this? Like we can ask you questions and shit?
Yeah, so I'll just say a few things first, and then
Okay.
you guys can start peppering me with questions. So, as it stands right now, I have sold probably around $5,000 worth, a little bit more actually.
Oh wow.
Uh, and
I'll
I
sneak-
pro- and I probably still have what 1, 2, 3, 5,
Last time I checked, you still had all your MPs, your
12,
official MPs.
14, 15, 16.
Because it's those damn KOs, Garrett. Nobody's buying official anymore.
Mhm.
So I still have about 40 MPs left. So if you're in the market for something, hit me up. Chances are I probably got it. So few things I do want to say first. One, and you guys kind of alluded to it already. Third party has outsold Takara by far. So couple reasons I think a
That was
couple
one of my
reasons.
questions.
So couple reasons I think. I think most people when Takara comes out, they buy it right away. So I think most collectors have a Takara have most of the Takara releases. And two, I do feel the KO impact on the Takara pieces. Like I had a guy hit me up about my Inferno, and I think I had my Inferno listed for I don't know 110 something like that. Like it's reasonable. And he wanted to know if I'd come down anymore, and I was like, "Nah, man, it's 110 shit." And he's like, "Well, I can get the KO for 50." And I was just like, "All right, fuck you." So
Wow.
it does have an impact on the marketplace.
Dude,
So
I have not been able to sell Jazz. Jazz, I mean, Wheeljack's been up for forever, and that cat's getting no bites. Yeah, I agree with you.
yep. So and then a few other surprises. I am completely out of X Transbots. I am completely out of KFC.
Oh wow.
Well, actually, I take it back. I got a couple tapes left. Almost all the KFC tapes are sold. So for you guys talking shit about those KFC tapes,
Motherfuckers
they were
like
some of
'em.
the first to go. Ollie was one of the first to go. So, but yeah. So a couple other things. I don't need the money. I've had a couple people ask me like if I got laid off or if I've lost my job. No. Uh, wasn't about the money. And what was the other one people kept asking me? If I needed the money, I don't remember now. But all right, guys, go ahead, open it up.
Who wants to go first?
What do you guys got for me?
What was the hardest thing to part with?
Nothing.
He doesn't give a fuck.
I will tell you, I was a little apprehensive about it.
The background while he's answering this question.
Closed his eyes. Well, no, and so like here's the thing, right? So Mickey and I have had one-on-one conversations a
Yeah.
couple times where I'm just like, dude, man, I think I'm over it, right? Like, and I've told him multiple times, like, I'm gonna sell it all, and he's like, no, wait, because I want this, this, and this. No, wait, I want this, this, and this. But I I just came to a point where I just didn't give a shit anymore. And I was I'm telling you, when I got into MP and third party heavy probably 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now, like I couldn't wait for the next figure. Like I was fiending, right? Like there's this energy, this passion, like you're constantly like on the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that like taking a step back and like self-analyzing, I really think that that's what it is for me. It's about the hunt. It's about the
Exactly.
trying to obtain those hard to get.
I said
And
it to you from the beginning, though, bro. I said to you from the beginning, man.
fix.
I know, and it's to the point like if I'm gonna collect Transformers, and I've done a lot of self-reflection in this. Like if I was gonna continue down the road of Transformers, like I would have to be going after like prototypes and lucky draw stuff. Like that would probably be the only thing that would keep me in it. And
Would you?
at that point, like I don't give a shit about lucky draw stuff. I really don't. I've had the opportunity to buy lucky draw stuff. It's just like, nah, I'm good.
What do you feel about like non like so like getting into like maybe Gunpla or some of the like unrustable bastards type stuff or
Well, I mean,
Or those Transformers that are coming out that aren't they're figures but don't transform.
so and like, all right, so here's the thing. Like a lot of people ask me if I'm selling off everything or if it's just Transformers, right? So as it sits right now, Transformers is the only what I started with. Oh, that was the other thing too. The other thing everyone's asking me, are you selling your shoes? And the answer is no. I'm not selling any of my shoes. But and I think it's for a couple of reasons. My shoes far outweigh anything I have. Like it's not even close. It's not even close. And I've never lost the passion for shoes. I mean, I've been into sneakers since 1988. Fast forward, it's now 2018. It's literally 30 years. Like I'm still fiending for them all the time, man. When something new comes out, and speaking of shoes, I didn't get into it in my Nerd Week just because people had Bobby talked about it on Nerd Rage, and I know Dust talked about it on ETR, and Chris talked about it on ETR. But I met up with Bobby and Chris, and I took them into, and it was very, and like Bobby didn't want to talk about it, but like so. And I'm gonna get to how this is relevant here in a second. But I met up with them in Jersey City. I picked them up. We drove into Brooklyn. Like it was Chris's first time in New York. Bobby said he hadn't been there in like 10 years. So like we took him through the Holland Tunnel. Like we went across the Brooklyn Bridge. Like we parked downtown, and we hit up one of my stores where the incident occurred. If you guys haven't heard Bobby tell the story about him punking one of my employees, it's pretty funny. You should go and check it out. And Bobby, I know you're listening. FYI, he still hasn't recovered. He brought it up to me today, so you damaged that poor guy. But
Oh.
I was more excited. So like Chris and I, like, because Chris is a big sneaker guy, so like Chris wanted to see Kith, so I took him to Kith in Brooklyn. I was more excited walking into the Kiths and the Flight Clubs than I was Forbidden Planet and Image Anime. So it's a lot of it is kind of self-reflection. And don't get me wrong, like I still love Transformers. Like Transformers will always have a place in my heart. But when I think about what I love about Transformers, it's not what's out now. Like I don't know if I can recapture why I love Transformers as hard as we try. And I've spent literally, I would say, the last year chasing that high. It's kind of like, when you hear people talk about heroin and chasing the dragon, it's kind of what it's been like. And
It's plastic crack, bro. Plastic crack.
And the thing was, so here's the thing. It was always like, man, when I complete my set of Dinobots, and everybody's talking about how great they felt when they got Grinder and they had their 5 Fans Toys dinos. I was just kind of like, eh. Like he's fine. Like he's cool, I guess. Like awesome. I have all five. They look good on the shelf together. Like, but I didn't feel anything. And it's one of those things like when you're looking at it from like my point of view, like, and I see all my Facebook feed fill up with how excited these people are, and I'm watching friends reviews, and like you can hear the excitement in their voice, and you just realize that you don't have that anymore.
Question for you,
Sure.
and I want to use those fans toys dinos for the example. How did you feel, or how excited were you, or how much anticipation did you feel for let's say Grinder or whoever else in that fans toys line before it came out? As you're waiting
So
for it. Let's go back to like let's say you're two dinos in to the fan toys set, maybe going on your third now, and then you got whatever's left. Like how much excitement did you have for that upcoming one that wasn't released yet? How much excitement did you have for that?
all right, so when I got Scoria, like I was a 12 out of 10, right? Like this was like the first Fans Toys Dino. This thing was like the size of a house cat. Like
Mm.
it was heavy. It was awesome. And then who came after Snarl or
Swoop
after
came.
Scoria?
Swoop came
Was it
next.
was it Swoop or was it Snarl? I
I
think it
thought it
was Swoop.
was. I thought it was Swoop. Yeah.
I think it was Swoop.
The
So
swoop, yeah.
yeah, so Swoop was good too. I would say like my peak was probably Snarl. I was living it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I got Snarl like I was one of the first ones to have him, like in our little clique that used to run around in Vegas. And I remember like I went over to a buddy's house and like word got out that I got it, and it was like people came, like it was
Mm-hmm.
crazy, and
You
like
always had this stuff before us.
so, uh, yeah, I was known to get stuff first. But like I got, and like that was probably the high point. Like I really love that figure. And then like I think around that time is really when it started to dissipate. And like Sludge was okay. Sludge was okay. And by the time Grimlock rolled around, it was gone. And it became more about completing a checklist than what it was enjoying figures. Like
It's not. It was,
I
no,
mean
go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean even a couple of episodes ago, like I remember like we were on here and I looked around my home office and I counted and I think I had like 22, 25, 27 figures I never even bothered transforming. Like if they came in bot mode, I opened them and I sat them on the shelf and that was it. And I never went back to them. And like there was a few, like I remember when Fans Toys Omega got announced, like
Mm-hmm.
I felt that high for a minute, like I found that good shit on the corner, but it was gone. And
When
by the
when did
time
it go? When did it go?
like I'm talking like from the announcement, like it was probably maybe a week. And I got part A. I
Mm-hmm.
opened it. I looked at it. I didn't even take it out of its box. Like I put it back in, and then when part B came, I think I went over to Dust's house that night, and I was hanging out with Dust and Steel, and I had Cup because Cup came in that box of part B. Like I remember I went over there, man. Like I cracked open part B. We built Omega, and like seeing how excited Dust and Brian was and like I felt nothing, man.
So that's just question. Anybody got any questions before I go into this?
Nah, go ahead. I'm
Uh,
I'm enthralled with
So
this.
and I got questions because me and Tyler talked about this a bunch of times. So I got inside questions. All right. So are there besides your brief stint into Batman animated figures, are there
Hmm.
any other toys that you collected besides Transformers
Well, all right. So let me touch on the Batman
or
thing
collect
too.
besides Transformers? Yeah. Let
Yes.
them know.
So let me touch on the Batman thing for a second. I think that, and talking with people, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. And people are like, oh, you got to collect more than just Transformers. Like most of my toy collection has been centered around Transformers. Like I got some SH figure arts, Star Wars stuff. I got some SH figure arts. I got the Turtles. I got the SOC Voltron. I'm trying to see what else is sitting around here. I still have the Batman the Animated Series, Batmobile. I got two different Lionels over there. That's really it. Oh, there's some Joes. Like I got some random Joes and stuff, but like Transformers far outweighed anything. Like,
Mm.
oh, I got a couple random like Marvel Legends were never my thing, but like I got a Deadpool, I got a Wolverine, I got a Cyclops. Who else is up there?
You had a growing collection of Deadpools for a minute, didn't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, when they were
Just
hard to
picking
get,
them
like
up.
well, yeah, like people, oh, they're so hard to find. I just when if I saw one, I bought one, and
Yeah.
then like when people, like if they were like a friend of the show, friend of the Cool Table Network, sure, I hooked them up, and other people, like I remember, man, there's a couple of Deadpools I threw on eBay. I got like 80, $100 for them.
Yeah, this shit was hot for a minute.
Yeah, that was the hot thing, but like when it becomes more about the checklist, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of what really got me. And like the more, and I kept looking like towards that next figure. And then really like going back to like when we were kids, like the new fiction, like I read a little bit of like the Dreamwave comics. Read a little bit of the IDW stuff, but like I never asking myself, is it really because I don't have a fiction or I don't have any stories to keep me compelled into it? Like, I don't know, man. Like I'm telling you, I've gone through a lot of like self-analysis on this stuff. But like,
I've said to you before, bro. Like I don't want to I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, and I'll say what was gonna say. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I know we
You're
like
good.
like you said, we talked about this a number of times, and I've said it. I said to you a number of times, and you know my perspective on just collecting. Period. Right. I think
Mhm.
that you have a few Transformer, you got a few collectors out there, especially in Transformer collecting, who just it is about the figure. It's all about the figure, and they'll play with that shit constantly, and they love all it, and they get it, and even when they get it after they've had it, like you take a Matt, right? Matt Deluxe loves all his shit, and he's gonna love it as much as he loved it when he was waiting for it to when he got it to when it's on his shelf. He loves it. He's in. He's all the way in, right? But then I think for the majority of us, or at least for a lot of us, I think it's about the hunt. And with if you go back to like the earlier stage of Transformer collecting, when you wasn't getting as much, right, and there wasn't as much out there, right, so as you got pieces, those pieces meant something because you may not see another because you only Fans Project was making the figure. You know what I'm saying? So then you get to the point where everybody's producing more. So, but you're still waiting for a good amount of time before that figure come out because you see the silhouette, and then you see the fucking 3D render, and then 2 years later you see the figure. Right? I think that I've always felt like it's more about the hunt and it's more about waiting for it, that itch to get it. Because then once you got it, like you said, you get it, you may or may not transform it, and that's just on the shelf, and it's on to the next thing. I think it's always been about the hunt. I think it's always going to be about the hunt for the most of us. And for you, the downside of that is access, because you have so much access. So you're getting it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
Yeah.
you got to sell some shit and I got to get the money to get this. No, once it's out, you got it. As a matter of fact, you might have it, this, that, third, and the other thing. So you have an abundance. You're that kid that has it all, and so he's never fucking happy. You know, and I'm not saying to be foul. I'm just saying that's the realness, right? So,
Well, all right.
and I'm not saying
Like
it in a bad way.
I
I'm just saying that's what I think
no,
it
no,
is.
no. Like, and I get that. Like, I, and I don't want to sound like an asshole saying this,
No,
but
you
like
will. Go ahead. Just say it anyways.
no. I mean, I have a good job, and I make I would say more than a decent living, and that's not me being conceited. I mean, I'm just talking what I make versus the national average, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like I do have discretionary income, so like to Mickey's point, if there's something that's out, I usually have it, and I usually have it very quickly. Um, yeah, it's bad when your crack dealer hits you up. Like, are you serious? Is this for real? Shout out to Haney.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
he,
when when I said Haney's gonna have to reevaluate his whole 2018 plan because of you.
yeah. I thought that I thought that was pretty funny. Uh, yes.
Tyler, real quick, while there's a break, did you find that you had a Fight Club moment where the things were owning you?
So yes. So and that's good, right? So that's a good question. So I found it to the point where I felt compelled to buy it. Like I felt like I had to own it, but like I didn't have the high. And between oh god, in this home office there's six full billies and two of this I can't remember what they're called. Two of the smaller, skinnier shelves that have like my mini bots on it. Like that shit is down to one side now. I can tell you, like, as stuff is leaving, I'm feeling better. Like, I'm feeling lighter. Like, I'm feeling like I don't have this massive collection of Transformers, like, weighing me down. And to the point about, like, people saying, like, did it hurt? No, it hasn't hurt. I like doing difficult things. Like I like doing hard things. Like I like it's like you're testing your personal will, right? And I thought this would be a test of that will. Like I thought it would be hard to do this, but I've had the exact opposite. Like it was very easy to let the first go back, or the first batch was the one that I was worried about. And I mean, the first order was pretty big, man. It was like Grinder, it was Eight Face, it was Power Glide, like it was can't remember who else they got. A couple X Transbots pieces, and I literally just boxed them up one by one, and like that was it. Put a label on it, and it was gone. And
Go ahead.
and I haven't felt any type of remorse. Like there hasn't been a figure yet that I'm just like, oh, that sucks. Like
I will argue that's because okay, so all this stuff came with no problem, and I would say Dr. Phil Cap for a minute, right? But I would argue that all the stuff came with no problem, no. Like you just said something key. You said that you like doing hard things, which also goes to the whole thing of like the hunt for it. Got to find it. When can I get it? How can I get it? But you don't have that issue. You don't have that problem at all. You don't have a waiting issue. You don't have a how am I going to get it issue. None of that shit. When you want it, you just get it, right? So then getting rid of it, I would say that shouldn't be a problem either, because on some level you realize, well, if I want it again, I just get it again. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't think there would be any problem getting rid of it. Like if it was, I think you would have went full stop at that point. Like, oh shit, okay, I love this shit again. But I think you reached a point where, and you're saying it plain as day, that you reached a point where it didn't really represent anything to you anymore, but just shelf space. You know what I mean? There was no pain or painstaking issue in getting it. Didn't have any value on the shelf beside the dollar. The dollar didn't really mean anything to you because you got dollars in the bank. You can get it anytime you want to. So now it's going out. Fuck it, let it go. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you bring up dollars in the bank, right? Like, and so couple of things there. Like when it comes to money, like I don't have the problem spending money on quality, but couple things here. One, the prices on the Takara figures have gone up exponentially over my time of collecting,
and I think it's been unreasonable as well.
The influx, the inflation of the prices has been crazy. Now, like that's not enough to drive me off of it, but like if you think about it, like Lambor was what, $60, $65,
some shit like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
and now fast forward 6 years and Sunstreaker's literally double the price.
That's stupid.
Yep, 120 unless you get it from Japan for 80.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like Megatron retailing at what, 230? And like
Insane.
yeah, and I still got them. And I mean, and it's funny, like I keep thinking about it, like I'll probably hang on to my Takara MP10 and my Megs just to put them on the bookshelf with all my Transformer DVDs, and just that'll be a shelf, and I'll be done with.
I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta at least keep those two.
But
Like,
those things mean
iconic.
something. I can see. Yeah, those things mean something. I can see why you would keep those. Those mean something.
I think it just represents of they're a good representative of my love of Transformers when I was a kid, and I still love G1. You know what I mean? Like, and I still love the cartoon, and I know it's bad. Like I watch it now, it's terrible. but like it meant something to me like when I was a kid. Like it was something I had in common with my cousins. Especially I got a cousin that's not even a month older than I am. Like that was our big thing together, you know. Even the other kids in the neighborhood, like that was like it's a fond memory. Just like Turtles, just like GI Joe, just
Mm-hmm.
like He-Man, just like 1966 Batman. Like all these things like I have small representatives of, and like I'm okay with I really am. Like I'm okay with that. Um, but just between the prices of Takara going up, which I don't think are justified, and some of the marketing things they've done, like with the Seekers and like the Takara exclusive stuff, and then when you pile on top of that, like I feel like their quality is going down,
Mm-hmm.
and the prices are going up exponentially. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not productive, and then when you add on top of that, like I'm not 100% sold on this like tune look that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't been like I've been vocal about that. Like I like my MP10. Like I liked Soundwave. Like I like the Starscream versus when you start looking at Inferno, Grapple, Shockwave, and everybody else. Like I think those earlier masterpieces were, in my opinion, they're much better figures.
All right, I got a two-piece question, right? A two-part
Okay.
question, two-piece. I got a two-part question. The second question is going to lead off of your response to the first question, right? So, are you out of toy collecting, period, or do you plan to still continue collecting toys in some form or another, whatever line you choose to get into?
Are we counting high-end adult collectibles as toys?
That's going to lead to my second part, Tyler. Don't fuck up my shit. Don't fuck up my questions. Don't fuck up my questions, Tyler.
Uh, uh,
Play along,
no,
bro. Play along.
no, I mean, there's some stuff like I'm still on the chase. Like I still want to get the filmation version of He-Man and Skeletor. So there's
Mm-hmm.
still things like that, like that I want that are on my list,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, I was thinking about it today, and we talked about it at Dust Party. Shout out to Dust and Dustapalooza. That was a great time, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
thanks again, Dust. I know I told you that countless times that night, but thanks again. But no,
Purple
like,
drink.
dude, that purple drink wrecks some people. That and Jose's Get Loose juice. So, if you weren't there, you missed a hell of a time. But back to what we were saying. Like, if GI Joe decided to like, this was a topic of conversation that night. If GI Joe came back like in a 6-inch scale,
Mm-hmm.
like Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series size, I would probably pick up a Duke, a Cobra Commander, a Destro, a Baroness,
If you don't say
and
Snake Eyes
Snake
and Storm
Eyes,
Shadow, goddamn it.
Storm Shadow, like that main clique, right? Like
Yeah.
Duke, Flint, Lady J, Scarlet, and I'd be done. Like I'd be okay. Like the more I think about it, like I'm good with the key pieces with characters who meant something to me versus having everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're being honest, like I can see the horizon of the completion of Transformers. Like everybody keeps talking about it of like, oh, I got to have season 1, 2, and 3 in the movie, and then it seems like people are that short season Power Masters like that. Like it's fine, but for the most part, I can see the horizon, and it's not gonna change. Like I'm not gonna feel a sense of have it when I have it all. I think now, like I'm cutting it off now versus waiting another year or whatever it's gonna take, and then I'll be in the exact same position I am now, just with more stuff to unload.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think that I've never agreed with the whole idea of completing the when it comes to like the just collecting period. Like wanting to complete, I think is good. That's a good drive, right? But actually completing, that's no fun because we're collecting to collect. If you complete, there's nothing left to collect. You know what I'm saying? What happens to the collector? But that's
Yeah,
not my
well,
second
I mean,
question. But go ahead.
well, no, did you have a second
Yeah,
question?
yeah, but
What
no, but
is it?
please chime in what I just said. Go ahead, go
Oh,
ahead.
no, no, no.
'Cause you had some good.
No, what I was gonna say, like, things that frustrates me, right, is
Mm-hmm.
this like constant, and Bobby kind of took a stand saying like his Bad Cube Sun Surge was good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know myself, and I'm not the guy that can say that that's good enough. Like, if there's a best version of a figure, that's the one I want. Like I can't do good enough. Like I was one of those guys when Takara when the rumors were really starting to get some traction, I sold my bad cube and then I'm good. But like this constant like having to upgrade and switch out, like it just becomes it's tiresome.
Mm.
And I mean, and I'm a numbers and cents guy, and like I hate the fact. Well, first of all, and let me say, people that say that they invest in a figure, that term bothers the shit out of me because you're not like you're
You're
not
not
investing.
investing.
It's not a mutual fund. It's not an IRA. It's not your 401k. You are not investing. Okay, and if these were investments, as soon as a Takara your third party figure that you just paid a premium for is now at best worth half, like that shit is infuriating to me.
Hey, more on that later. It goes to my second part of my question, but please continue.
No, I mean it's just that constant swap out, and then when between the constant swap out and then when you compound this like growing KO issue, like it drives me insane.
Mm.
And what I mean is, and like we talked about it earlier, like when there's a market, KOs are going to exist. But right now, and Mickey, if you remember, I called this shit at Skullfest.
Mm-hmm.
This growing acceptance in KO is going to put Takara in trouble. And I said that shit 2 years ago. I said that, and the fact that the oversaturation of third party is going to drive the price down. And what has happened? Prices have gone down on
Mm-hmm.
third party,
Mm-hmm.
and prices on Takara has gone up.
Yep.
But
Yep.
this KO
Point
problem,
five
and
for you,
now
sir. 0.5.
that's a whole one, man. That was 2.5.
You claim 0.5, goddammit. If I don't get solving the motherfucking KO conspiracy, and you don't get 0.5, you don't get a whole point for that. 0.5, goddamn.
We still need a T-shirt with a scoreboard on it. It's like Tyler 112 to Mickey's like 17.
17.5. I just got 0.5 tonight.
Okay, 17.5. But this like not just a KO issue, but the growing acceptance and preference of KO makes me sick to my fucking stomach.
God damn. Tell them how you really feel.
Like I'm being real. Like these guys, like when a new figure comes out and the first thing out of their mouth is, "Oh,
I'll wait for the KO.
I can't wait for the KO." And it's like, and they lie to themselves and they justify it to themselves, and like it drives me mad. It's like, dude, you don't have a masterpiece Transformer collection. You have a want to be inferior, less quality bullshit collection. Like the collection you want to have is not what you have. You're playing make believe.
God damn.
You are.
I should announce at the beginning of the show the box of Kleenexes.
If they don't know by now.
And the pillow for your ass. God damn.
But like it's ridiculous. And like, all these KO Megatrons, all these you guys are telling me there's some asshole trolling talking in that he's got a KO Sunstreaker. Like, what's the point? You guys have literally KO'd Takara to the point of there may not be a Takara in another year.
See, I would argue I don't think the KOs are solely responsible for that though.
They're not. It's more than just that.
I'm saying it's not 100% that, but like you're literally cutting off one of their main revenue streams.
We can't get into that portion of it because we're already on this bitch for like almost 3 hours. We got to stay on track right now. We can't go down to that argument.
All I know is I got official Masterpiece Sunstreaker coming, and I can't.
I don't give a fuck to make an excuse. I buy a KO and I don't give a shit. You know how I feel.
And then really, man, like I guess the last thing I want to bring up, and then if you guys got more questions, you can hit it. But just the Transformer fandom in general.
Yeah, I feel you there already. Good God, I feel you there.
Dude, I fucking hate it. I hate the groups. I hate, especially Legions. Shout out to Legions. You guys are like the bottom of the barrel.
Unless
But
you're a Toy Detox subscribers, we love you guys. We love all of you guys. All of your opinions count. All of your views count. And you know what? Those other guys, they fucking suck. But not you. Not you, Toy Detox subscriber. You savages make every day worth waking up to. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tyler.
that whole thing just sounded like a participation trophy, Mickey.
Fuck it. We need these motherfucking numbers, guys.
But like, just the fact of like the crybabies, the entitlement in the fandom, the just constant bitching and complaining. Like I said, this KO thing, and I don't know what it is. And I was talking to Adam about this too, man. I don't know what it is, but Transformers kind of attract a certain type of fan that I don't see in other fandoms. And I'm not saying they're stinky fatties, but like
Stinky
I don't
fatties.
I don't know if it's the allure, and Adam kind of brought this up too, and I agreed with him. But if it's the allure of being able to transform yourself into something else, like these guys are unhappy and unfulfilled in their personal lives, wish they could a conscious thing. I don't know what it is, but these guys who constantly need to seek the approval of their peers, like the ones that will defend their figure to the death, even if it's the inferior figure. But it's like they constantly have to be solidified. They constantly have to be
Validated.
Yeah, I mean validation is a good word for it, but it's just like this fandom in general. The fact that it seems like the vast majority of them don't know how to read or refuse to know how to read, like the shit just drives me insane. Like, and I don't see that in other fandoms. I what it is about Transformers. Like, I really don't.
You know what?
And to piggyback off of what you said, Tyler, about entitlement, like a new line comes out or Target has like a reset and people are posting the DPCIs and they're like, I went to Target and the back for my figures. And like I used to work for Target back in the day, and I'm like, major transitions, they have that shit all wrapped up on pallets in the back, unlocated. So no fucking minimum wage Target employee is gonna go in the back and sift through 15 pallets of shit so your fucking mouth breather hat ass can have, a Power of the Primes figure a week before the reset is supposed to happen.
Yeah,
And unless you are a
next
Toy
year, that's
Detox
next
subscriber, if you're a Toy Detox subscriber, I guarantee you at least those Target employees are going to go back there and shift through those pallets for your Mountain Dew hat ass. They love you and we love you too. Good God.
Well,
go ahead. Continue. Good time. I'm trying to keep subscribers. Go ahead.
I mean,
You sound a bit shucky. I'm just gonna say.
Fuck it. I'm trying to keep subscribers, bro. Go ahead.
And if we're being honest, 15 pallets is probably conservative. But like
No.
constant complaining about somebody else getting something before, like everybody else on the internet has it but me, and then they want to blame scalpers for everything, and it's like, no, man, like you're in a small volume like they don't understand how retail works, you know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, everybody has the internet, just fucking go log on and order it.
Hey, to be fair though, the Marvel Legends collectors are bad like that too, especially before Hasbro started really pumping out the Legends like they are now. They're not as bad as the Transformer collectors, because they are some of the fucking worst. But Marvel Legends collectors, oh my God, fucking baby, and don't go to a motherfucking store and buy the whole wave before such and such get his. And then you put your picture online. Oh my God, do you finna get scalper mountains?
Well, so it's it's funny, right? Like, so if there's a new, harder to find like Marvel wave or like Black Series wave, like I'll keep my eyes out for people. And it's funny, like I get more enjoyment like going into a store and finding a figure for somebody else than I was like with MPs delivering, and I get to keep them on my shelf. And it's that really solidified like it's all about the hunt for me. And it's funny. So it was on what day? What it was the 30th.
Mm,
I found two of the Jaina Solo figures. Right.
mm.
Nice.
First time I'd seen him, I saw him. Immediately texted Bobby. He needed them, one for him, one for his daughter. I'm like, dude, I got you two. And I guess that was like the first two. He had heard of, so I know he went out like the next day and found one more. But I had both of them in my hand, and it was me and my son. I had my oldest son with me, and this guy in the aisle wanted to kind of like try to block the aisle and kind of make himself bigger than what he looks. And
Wow.
and he's like, "What do
You
you
ain't
have?"
getting off that aisle with these triggers, man.
Yeah, and he's like he's like, "Who do you have there?" And I was like, "I got some Star Wars figures, man."
Who do you have there? He asked you.
Yeah. Well, and then like he saw the note because the Black Series had the big numbers on the sides of the
Mhm.
box, and
Yeah.
he's like, "You got two Janas?" And I'm like, "Yep." And so like he goes past me and he like thumbs through all of them real quick, and he's like, "You can't buy both of them." And I'm like,
What did he
"Yes,
say that
I
shit?
can. See you
This is
later."
America, bitch. What you talking about? I can't
Yeah.
buy both of them.
And
Did he look like Milton from Office Space?
no, but
You need my
he
stapler?
he was in his probably mid 40s, I would say, and his belt size was probably also in the mid 40s.
Hey,
Next beard.
that hurts, Tyler.
Stop it. Uh, yeah, and it's just some of the audacity of some of these people, like some of these collectors, man. This shit just drives me insane.
I know
in, like
the
in
eternal boogeyman of the scalper. Like, heaven forbid there might be another collector in your area who
yeah that you
beat
don't
you
know.
to that.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting for the guy to call me a scalper too, but he didn't. So,
In
Those
his
are
head, he
fighting
did.
words right there, dude.
oh,
Yeah,
I'm
in his
sure.
head he did it, right?
I'm sure he did in his head. I
Those
mean,
are
I've
fighting words.
had other people call me scalpers when I pick stuff up for people. It's just like whatever. Like it was funny. Like Mickey, you brought up when I was grabbing those Deadpools
Mhm.
for people. I beat the same guy twice, like within an hour. Like I was
Are
at
you
a Target.
serious?
Yeah, like I was at a Target, bought one, and then I checked Toys R Us and they didn't have one, and then I went to Walmart and they had one, and I saw him at Target and I saw him at Walmart. I didn't see him at Toys R Us, but then like when I'm walking out of that aisle, he's walking in that aisle and he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like,
I can just see this guy
Hilarious.
right now as you walk
Yeah.
past him with the fucking Jaina Solos. He's digging through the fucking
Fuming.
bags, and
Absolutely
he just looks
fuming.
at you. He just looks at you, and out the corner of his eye, fucking tear drips down. He's like, "Fucking Deadpool,
"So,
fucking
yeah."
Deadpool."
With a one size too small leather jacket or an oversized black duster. Like, either or.
No, like it's a little
Oh,
colder up
shit.
here. Like the guy in the aisle though, he was wearing a North Face jacket, but he did have shorts on, which was a little ironic. But
Fucking Deadpool.
like
He got me for my
in the
Deadpool.
end, like all these are plastic. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
It's just plastic.
Exactly.
It like
At
in
the
the
end of the day.
at the end of the day, like none of this shit matters. All this shit we do, it's just make pretend. It's make believe and pretend.
Yep.
It doesn't matter in the end.
Yeah, like I had to liquidate a large amount of my collection over the last year, due to some hardship, and I'm like, everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, dude, it's just stuff. Like, it's just shit. And like, it's nice to go into my closet and be able to look around and not,
Looking for
Squeeze.
another man, or what are you doing
No.
in your closet there?
You know, Tyler.
Can
Maybe
Wow.
Can I get my
community-
second question out before Tyler causes
No.
the rest of our
Uh,
listening audience to fucking blow their brains out? Damn.
All right,
what is this man, Tyler?
I apologize. Spiros.
Shotgun
Go
triggers is
ahead.
being pulled all over the motherfucking U.S. and Japan and what's that other place where we do numbers at? In Europe right now. Just motherfuckers just blowing brains out and shit.
Losing.
Tyler's getting our subscriber base down to like 5, and they're all Cool Table Network members.
Oh shit! So on Monday, when motherfuckers don't show up for their recording session and shit because they done blew their brains out. Dust, you can send your hate mail to fucking Tyler. Oh shit, motherfuckers.
Bring me all the hate.
So second question, which will also lead to a statement for me after you said your bit, right? So second question is, since we know that you're not completely, did you actually answer the question? Like you're not out on collecting, right?
No, so like, yeah, I'm gonna continue to collect shoes. I mean, I bought another one today. I just got the Black History Month Jordan ones that came out
Hey,
today.
look at you.
Really nice. Yeah, so I can. Did I ever tell you about the guy that I was wearing a Black History Month shoe and he told me I shouldn't wear it because I was white?
Oh, he's racist.
That's
Yeah,
racist.
that's stupid. That's dumb.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's.
I'm pretty
funny
sure
'cause-
Jordan ain't checking to see whose skin is wet when he counting them dollars.
I know, right? And I was like, that's funny because every shoe I have in here right now that is sponsored by a professional athlete is a black man. Yeah, I'm really racist.
That
Thanks,
means
bud.
your feet at least up to your ankles
Yeah.
are black.
Anyway, so I mean, I'm still gonna collect shoes. Like I still have the passion for that. Like I got that high today. Like when I got that pair, like it felt really good. But no, like I'm not out on collecting together. Like I said, man, like if somebody's got a Filmation He-Man and Skeletor, like hit me up. Like if they ever figure out a Thundercats line and make it work, like, you know, I'd get the main crew. Like, give me a Lionel, Chara, Panthro, Wily Cat, Tiger. Like, I'm good. Give me a Mumra, I'm good. Like, I don't even need I don't need Jackalman. I don't need Slot. I don't need all that shit. Like, I really don't. Like, so I think key things like that still mean something to me. Like I said, I still got other stuff. Like, I'm not planning on getting rid of it. Like, I'm not. It's just this Transformer stuff. It's become so cumbersome. Like, it's got to go. Like, it's really just got to go. And it's funny, man. Like I thought my boys would have like a adverse reaction to it, and they've just kind of been like, okay, like they haven't really cared. Like I thought they might care, but even then they're just kind of like, it's okay. Like I even told I told them I told all 3 of my older kids, I was like, you guys can pick out whatever you want. You guys can each pick one, whatever you want. And my older son really couldn't come up with anything. Like I gave him like 2 days before I started listing things, and he was just like, I don't think I want any of it.
Wow.
Or then
Apathy breeds apathy.
Well,
This is true. This is true.
Well, it was funny though, cause then and this is what got me. He's like, wait, if you're gonna sell these, can I pick one and sell it, and then keep the money and buy Legos? I'm like,
Kids, man, kids are the original salesmen. They have no fear for the sale. To go for the fucking sale, they got no fear, dude. I love kids, man.
well, I mean, like,
awesome.
I mean, that's what my kids are into now. I mean, we've talked about it on here. They're into video games and they're into Lego. That's what they're into.
Fucking Lego, boy. Lego ain't never got to worry about shit. I mean that's one of the die-hard toy lines that'll always be straight. They ain't never got to worry about it.
Shit, they almost went out of business at one point.
Yeah, but look where they are
And
now.
they started licensing. Like, man, licensing saved their ass.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a great documentary, by the way. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a Lego documentary. You could probably Google it.
So,
Dude, I
Is it
tell
on
you-
Netflix or Hulu?
Yeah, I know it was on one of them. Because that's
I think
where
it was on.
watched
I think it was on Netflix. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking
I'll have
about.
to
I
look
can't
for
remember
that.
the name of it.
I tell you what, I'm not even gonna buy my kids anything but Legos. Like, Because my daughter was playing with Legos, and she's like, "You know what's a great thing about Legos? I can build anything I want." I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's all you're getting until like you grow out of this shit. Then I'm not getting you any stuffed animals, no dolls. Like you're just getting fucking Legos from here on out." Like,
Fine motor skill training for the win.
Oh no.
What's up?
Oh
Uh,
no. Motherfucker.
2.5 hours down the drain.
No,
Don't
oh no,
tell me
no,
you
no,
haven't.
no, no. The show is fine. No, this
Oh.
it's an art piece I'm working on right now. So I had to close Photoshop out a little while ago, and I had been saving because it locked up or whatever, and I had been saving, but apparently it had not been saving. So half the work is fucking gone. Good fucking
Ooh.
job. It's all good. Good fucking job.
Yeah.
Sad trumpet.
Fucking thanks a lot, Donald. So anybody else got any questions for Tyler?
Tyler, what non-masterpiece Transformers do you have, and will those be going on the chopping block?
I still got a bunch of MMC stuff, which I mean, some people call that. So like, what I put up first was kind of wave 1. Wave 2 is gonna be a lot of the MMC stuff. I mean, I'm probably gonna pick bits and pieces of that to keep, and then the rest of that will probably go. And then I have a few other, like, you want to call them chug scale third party figures, like some of the early like fans project stuff. That's really it, man. I got a couple chug pieces, nothing serious, like the Ultra Magnus with the add-on kit. That was like my first third party piece, so like I still have that.
Everybody's first third party piece.
Yeah.
You should keep that for
I think
historical
Well,
reference.
I think I am gonna keep it because like I still remember where I was like when I got it. Like that's still a piece that like that. It's not even that it's a transformer. It's just that piece means something to me. So like I'm probably gonna. Well, I am. I'm gonna keep Magnus in the trailer, and that's probably gonna be it at a chug. And what little bit left I have a chug is gonna go. I'm gonna keep what little G1 I got. I mean, I didn't really keep a whole lot of G1, but what I have, I'm gonna keep. But
Anybody
So
else?
you're gonna PM me that list of MMC stuff.
yeah.
I might be interested in too.
Yeah.
No. Shh, Garrett. Shh. Yeah, this is between Tyler and I.
Well, I gave you guys first crack at what I had on this wave. I sent it to
Hey,
you
you never
guys.
told me what the fucking Octane was hitting for.
Dude, that Octane is trash, bro. You don't want it.
You know what, sir? You ain't,
Provider for the
you ain't the
winner.
boss of me, Tyler. You're not my dad.
No,
are you?
he's
Are you? Are you?
Not my daddy.
he's much better than Provider. Like he looks better on the shelf.
That's still a shot, bro. Why you down in Provider? Why you down in Provider,
No,
bro?
because
Provider was a lot of fun,
because
dude.
Garrett piped up and said Provider for the win, but no. I think that's.
I still love that figure.
It's been interesting though.
Wait.
Like my wife.
Garrett, you
my
like Provider?
Nobody likes.
Garrett, you say you like Provider?
His bot
I
mode
love
is dope.
Provider.
I like Provider's
Thank
bot
you,
mode.
sir. You
I
know
like
what?
bot mode.
I knew there was something about you I like, Garrett. I knew it. I knew it. Go ahead, Tyler. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's been funny to watch my wife. She has been quietly watching from afar, and
What's her
she
take
keeps
on this?
asking me if I. She keeps asking me if I'm okay.
So what's her take? What do you think she's thinking, or has she told you what she's thinking?
Well, I mean,
She
she's
cares
kind of.
about her husband.
Well, her whole thing is like she knows like it's one of the things that, like brings me joy, right? Or it did for a while, and like her whole thing is she's just like she's never really told me no, don't collect. Like she understands like it's part of who I am, like since I've been a little kid, and like and that's one of the other things like I keep looking at, like what is it that constantly compels me to collect and hunt. And I think it's really like tapping into that like primitive part of our brain of like hunter gatherer. And because we don't have to go, kill our own meat or grow vegetables or scavenge for food, like it's like it's something built deep down inside of our lizard brain that makes us want to do it. But like I was talking to her about it, like, when we first started dating, like the whole shoe thing. But like, I remember, like, even as a kid, like I would put my like Transformers and GoBots like on my windowsill. Like I would set them up there. Like I thought that was cool. And like my mom would tell me that I wouldn't let other people play with my stuff, and like I really wouldn't play with it either. Like there were some things like I just left it alone. And don't know if it's because I was trying to hoard it or hold it or what, but then like it went into like baseball cards as a kid. Like I had tons. I still do. I have tons of sports cards at my parents' house still, like baseball, basketball, football, and like it was comic books. And it's always been something. It's been CDs, it's been DVDs, like it's been sneakers, obviously. Like it's just, there's always been something that I've bought. And so like her whole thing is like, okay, are you sure you're okay? Are you sure you want to do this? Like she, and God bless her, man. She's been making runs to the post office because God knows I can't get there during the week.
Yeah, you a fucking terrible shipper, dude, and that's coming from a motherfucking horrible shipper. Being honest,
I am not a terrible shipper.
This motherfucker took 3 years to send that fucking NES off. That shit.
To send what?
That fucking Nintendo to that shit took you like fucking 6 years.
Oh, dude, it's because it came out at Christmas and I was busy, man. Did you forget I worked retail?
No joke, y'all. I was literally already at the point where I was making reservations in like the old folks' homes for me and Tyler to fucking be able to kick it.
You gotta take a number, bro. You gotta take a number.
Shut up. Dude, I still got you that Nintendo when they were like impossible to find, so I don't want to hear about it.
Shit took like 7 years, yo. 7 years.
Shut up. But her whole thing is kind of like, we'll see how long you can go without collecting something else. So I guess we'll see how long I can go.
I think all men, man. I think all man. Period. Right. If we want to get into it. We all in some way, form, or fashion, whether men or women, but I'm saying man, like we all collect something. There's something that we collect in one, no matter what the fuck it is. But just when we deal with men, I think that, like, to your point earlier about the hunter-gatherer deal, right? We cross that bridge no matter what in life because we know we went into bacon and all of that bullshit, right? But I think that it really comes down to the fact that men are fucking grown ass boys. Like it's our inner child. Like we're grown. Like even if you're not a toy collector, men still find ways to collect something, show off something, have something, compete with something, and it's usually something that taps back into their childhood. You know what I'm saying? I think it's because, like, you ever heard of the saying that women mature faster than men. Women mature way beyond men, right? And men, for the most part, are always immature boys. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck how tough you act. I don't give a shit. There are two people in this world, well, actually 3, but there are 2 people in this world that will bring you down to fucking baby bitch mode. That's typically your mom and your wife. And if you have a daughter, then your daughter. Those that makes a third. But typically your mom and your wife. For some people, mom might be grandmom. But those are people that bring you down to that baby mode. You might not act like this in front of like your boys and your homies and all of that shit, or your coworkers, but around your wife, if you stub your toe, you might let a little bit of softness out. You know what I'm saying? I think it comes down to that men are fucking grown ass fucking boys. I firmly believe that. So that thing you were into when you were a child, you still look for that. You're still subject to fuck with that as an adult. So if you were into Voltron as a child, because I mean, like I told you guys before, I know I told you guys stories, or at least I know that me and you talked about it, Tyler. Like I would be in Iraq, I'd be in Afghanistan, and my chewing shit, and my friends come through, or my coworkers come through, or whatever. And these guys ain't motherfucking collectors. These guys is contractors, prior military guys. Some guys badasses, some guys just assholes. But they come into my chew and they see somebody, I like have some toy pieces inside of there. They be like, oh man, that's such and such from whatnot or whatever. They're not toy collectors, but they remember that shit. And for that minute, they're kids again. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all subject to that in some way, form, or fashion.
I think it's an escape mechanism.
Yeah.
I think it's really what it is. Like it's a way to check out of our daily grind. And ours in this group just happens to be toy collecting. Like it's the same thing that sports does for people. It's the same thing that like outdoor rec stuff does for people. And I mean, like we go walking into one of our nerd caves, and it's a nerd cave, but I walk into my buddy's basement and he's got Patriot shit everywhere, right? Like it's really there's no difference. Like you're getting the same escape factor out of it. And I mean, like, you know, there's guys that collect guns, there's guys that buy boats, you know, there's different things that people do, but I think in the end we're all looking for that escape from reality.
Yeah, and you beat me to it, Tyler. Like everybody nerds out on something, you know, whether it be guns, sports, you know, cars, like tools, you know, like, oh, I got a new power sander today. It's fucking awesome, you know. Like, so yeah, I think it's definitely
shout out to power sanders.
Power sanders. No. Fucking tool time. No, but I mean, it's like some primordial, you know, deep down in our DNA that we have to sublimate. Like, I mean, it's the same reason for sports, you know, like if we were born in a different time, like a great football coach might be a great general, you know, in a war. So, you know, it's all just sublimation of our primal urges.
So we're coming up on. Go ahead, man.
No. I was just gonna say I could see that, but it translates to women too, in a sense, because if I look at my wife collects Cabbage Patch dolls, Louis Vuitton bags, and friggin' shoes. Like that's her thing.
It's also that's like what I was saying earlier, man. Like whether man or woman, man itself, we will collect it because it taps into like vanity. You know what I'm saying? Like not saying like, oh, you got to be the best, but it does tap into this. I think it's a natural part of our psyche to, you know, to collect these things that are comfort to us and shit like that. You know what I mean? I think so, and maybe that does go back to the hunter gatherer. You know, I don't fucking know. All I know is it's been fucking 3 hours and fucking 16 minutes, dude. You know what I'm saying?
It's been how long?
It's been 3 hours and going on 16 fucking minutes. Some of this shit's going on fucking Patreon, yo. Know what I'm saying? Some of this shit's going on Patreon. So
the extended LP.
Anybody got anything else for Tyler? Any kind of questions? Any kind of comments? Any kind of fucking what's and what's?
What MMC figures are you selling? I'm just kidding.
Oh no. Well, it's. I just kind of want to go back to the collecting thing, right? There's a wise man that once said that attachment leads to jealousy, and jealousy is the shadow of greed. Come on, that's a Yoda quote. Jesus.
Oh, I know. I was trying to come up with
shit.
Clever.
I didn't know that shit.
Yeah. So,
Tyler, why can't you send a picture to a Jedi in email?
Oh God, why?
Attachments are forbidden.
So Tyler, you order anything else, or is there anything?
So, all I want to say is Transformers have been fun. Transformers are kind of like that girl you hook up with that's kind of crazy in bed. Even the girl who kind of like lets you bring another girl into the bed.
Ooh, fun.
But she's definitely not wifey material. And my wifey material has always been Star Wars. It's my first love. Still married to her. So after much pushing,
come on with it. Come on.
Prodding.
Come on with it. Just say it.
Realm of enablers, spending too much time. Talking with Bobby and Chris.
Bobby's another one. Bobby, you're a part of this. You're a part of what was about to go down to. Come on with it. Come on with it.
Star Wars is definitely the wife material,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody who knows me knows that I don't do anything small.
Mm-hmm.
Go hard or go
Um,
home.
oh, I go hard. Uh, so it started. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Drum roll.
Mm-hmm.
Announcement.
Let's go.
Dun,
Let's
Announce,
dun,
go.
dun, dun,
announcement.
dun, dun,
Announcement to
dun.
to the world. I'll break it here first. So I have dived into the Star Wars Hot Toys realm.
And hot toys would be
Dun,
considered soft
dun,
goods,
dun,
right?
dun,
Doll life,
dun,
right?
dun,
You son of a bitch.
So I threw down my pre-order for the new Darth Vader that's coming out. For
Do we lose somebody?
Empire Strikes Back. It's a really good looking piece. And then because I don't do anything half-assed, on Saturday, which I'll post some videos. I'll post it to the Detox page. But on Saturday I have episode 4 Luke Skywalker, episode 4 Princess Leia, episode 4
This guy.
Han and Chewie. I have episode 5 Yoda, all delivering on Saturday, and since we've been on the call recording, I just picked up episode 4 Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Can I recommend
Damn.
something to you, bro? Can I recommend something?
Slow down.
Slow the fuck down. You're gonna do the same thing you just because you're gonna do the same thing you just did with fucking with Transformers. And I mean, I would hate to see this become a motherfucking Batman animated. I dare say you obviously got more attachment to Star Wars, but not so much hot toys. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to slow it down so you can actually enjoy it, because you just got finished saying that. I think you go through shit so fucking hard, and there's no. If you live for the hunt, and you do live for the hunt, you're going through it so hard. You're taking away what you're actually in it for. You're taking that away from yourself.
Yeah, so I think, and I put some parameters on myself. Like at first, I was gonna be like, I only need one to be a character, but
Parameters
more-
are for pussies.
I know. So the more I'm looking at it, like I keep looking at this Bespin Luke, and I'm looking at this like Return of the Jedi Luke. So then it's like, there's definitely a large world of this, and I have a very long way to go. And right now, I'm just limiting myself to Star Wars. And the thing is like my passion's always been Star Wars. But when you think about Star Wars, like 3 3/4, like I love it. Like I still have a bunch of it from when I was a kid. And it's the stuff I played with and beat up, but like I'm not gonna go back and rebuy 3 3/4. Like they're just, it's not for me anymore. Like I have an attachment to the ones I had as a kid, but I'm not gonna go hunt them. And like I don't even want to say as cool as Black Series is, because I don't really think Black Series is all that great. Like it's good compared to 3 3/4, but like it's never really done it for. I've always wanted something Star Wars on my shelf, and like a Black Series, I have a Luke, I have a Leia, I have a Han, I have a Chewie, I have a Vader, I have a Boba. You know what I mean? Like, but it's like, it's not the be all end all. But then when you start getting in and you start looking at some of these other, just like, damn, like that is Mark Hamill, that is Carrie Fisher, that is Harrison Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it looks just like them. So I'm very interested to dive into this. Obviously, I've jumped headfirst with this already. But now, like, I have something to keep me engaged for a while. So like so far, like the collection's been focused on the Rebel side, and there's enough on the Empire side to keep me busy.
The fuck is that?
I got a guy. No, I have a guy hitting me up right now who's trying to sell me a Sand Trooper.
Don't buy it,
but
bro. Don't buy it.
I don't need it. I'm not. Like I said, I'm limiting myself just to the good guys right now. I need to figure out how I'm going to display these things. What I've seen already in some of these like 1/6 scale groups, like these boys don't play. I've seen some really impressive stuff, and I got to figure out what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it. Um, and
I
then
find
even,
I find on average Star Wars collectors have more impressive displays than anybody else.
so
Oh, you're gonna have to get those Lenny cases for your Hot Toys.
yeah, like I don't think Detox doing. I need
I
to.
don't know about that.
I don't like Detox.
Yeah, you're not a detox guy.
I've never been a fan of Detox. Like I don't think they really do them justice, and I think they're small and kind of restrained space. Like I got to figure out what I'm gonna do. Like I would like some big cabinets. I don't know. I don't know if what Lenny has will work either. I don't know. I gotta start digging into some of these forums and some of these guys and seeing what they're using.
Yo, can I say like okay?
So and I
Are we still on a lag?
no, I can hear you just fine.
Can hear
Right?
you.
Okay, I got it right. Now I was gonna say because I am a 1/6 collector. I am a soft goods collector, but mine is more so on. I'm more into the 3A shit, right? So I was gonna say to you that you definitely, which I already know using this to the hot toy shit, but I was gonna say to you definitely you should try checking out, right? I think that it'll start Star Wars, but if in hot toys you're gonna find yourself going into other shit. I guarantee it, right? I guarantee it, right? But I would say, man, for you because and you didn't ask for my input, but I'm gonna give it to you anyways. So I would say that for you, you riding the Star Wars thing for right now, but I know how you get down. You gonna fucking burn through this shit real quick, right? You should start checking out just because the whole idea, the whole 1/6 scale collecting and the soft good collecting is a whole nother world of collecting, right? Because you already see this. It takes time, especially on a new shit that's coming out, right? And then you got higher end shit like 3A is some of the higher end shit, and there's shit that's way more high end than 3A shit, right? But the cool thing is the thing that makes it so fucking addictive is that you're putting your pre-order in for some shit and then you might not see that shit for another year or 2 years or a year and a half. And then in some cases, in most cases, especially with 3A, but with a lot of this shit, when you buy this shit, that especially with 3A, that shit comes out, that's it. Like it's a limited amount of shit that comes out, and it's not being sold at retail no more. There ain't no re-releases and shit. So then the value of that figure goes up. So now you got something to really hunt for. You know what I'm saying? So that might be something that you might find interesting. I'm not saying so much specifically 3A, but there's a lot of high end shit in 1/6 collecting, and it gives you something that you actually got to fucking work for to get, because you got to find it, especially if you're going back and trying to find older shit that's not at retail anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you might get interested in it, because the fucking 3A is a bitch, dude. Like shit comes out and you don't see it no more. Because as a matter of fact, shit comes out, it drops at a specific time on the website. And then there's always like a mystery figure that might drop as well, or mystery colorway. And once that shit is sold out, that site, you never see it again. So now you got to find motherfuckers that's willing to sell theirs, and in most cases motherfuckers hold on to it, and then once the shit sells out, a figure that came out at $100 or $200 fucking goes to $500 something dollars, like within a couple of weeks, if not overnight. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of shit kind of gets you interested in it. You know what I mean? And it keeps you interested in it. So you might want to check it out, man.
Yeah, I definitely am coming into this late, and I know there's definitely some figures I'm gonna have to pay that late tax on, like this Besbin Luke on the low end is like $700.
Yeah, see,
I was gonna say that bad boy is up there.
It's amazing though, like with the box hanging on, like the stuff I've seen people do with that has like it's been awesome. Like to the point like a guy took like a single like standalone cabinet and like it looks like it's as tall as a Detox, but he's got the thing hanging from the top, and the whole rest of the thing is empty.
Oh,
but he's got a background inside of it, and it looks like clouds. Like looking at it, like it gives you this impression. Like you almost look at it, you're like, oh shit! Like it gives you a feeling like he's, you know what I mean? Like you don't want him to fall. I never got that shit from a Transformer. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying. Like you see a lot better. You see dioramas and all this kind of stuff. It's akin to like Gunpla. Like you'll see way better displays in that space than you will on average in the Transformer space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta take it.
So,
You just gotta take your time with it, though, bro. Like,
well, and
don't
so
burn through
that's
it. Kill that shit. Like
so.
he's got the whole collection in like a week. Then you're like, man, don't do it,
Well,
man.
no. Like I'm being, although I've gone quickly in this. Like I like all of them except for the Obi-Wan I got from one guy, and I got a pretty good deal on it. So that's why like 5 of them are showing up in one shot. Like I'm purposely delaying gratification. So like just so like I'm giving myself that boundary so I have something to look forward to outside of that Darth Vader pre-order. And like there's a Boba pre-order, and I'm kind of wising up to this pre-order game, especially like since Hot Toys has all these like deluxe versions and limited run versions, like with all the extra accessories. But like that Boba isn't going to be out till this time next year.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to, and I want to throw down a pre-order on that here pretty quick before it sells out. But like I'm purposely not going to chase any of the Empire stuff right now until I get my display figured out, and 2 get what I want. And right now, like I'm confining, and I'm gonna try to stay there as long as I can, just to, again, delay that gratification, so that when I'm finally done with that, I can start looking towards either the prequels or whatever we're calling 7, 8, and 9.
You should also try to go ahead.
You should restrict yourself to opening like one hot toy per like week or per like every other week. That way,
space it out.
That way you space it out. You get to appreciate each figure a little bit, so you don't like kind of get swamped with, well, they're all here, and there's.
I do you one better, bro. You should set yourself. Maybe saying a budget is not good enough. You should set yourself some form of fashion, because you got access. Take away some of your access to being able to get it, which will make it harder to get it, which will make you appreciate it more when you do get it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Take away my access how?
Either set up like a spending budget on what you're going to be able to do like within a certain amount of time, or because that's the problem. It's not the problem. It's like a fucking good problem to have. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
Tyler's got Scrooge McDuck bucks.
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
And then all this fucking extra cash, even more so to burn on it, right? And it's gonna be burning your pockets. So I think you should set it up to where either, and this is just throwing ideas out. You're a genius. You'll figure out what you want to do. But like, even if you set up where, okay, I can only buy this if I get rid of that, or in order to, I will only fund my collection with dollars from this. You know what I'm saying? Some way, form of fashion. Whereas you have to, you gotta fucking hurt to get it. You know what I'm saying? Or you gotta wait to get it. Like a hungry person that ain't got no motherfucking job and they gotta go fucking take out trash. $1 for a burger. You know what I'm saying?
What Mickey's trying to say, Tyler, is you should fantasy camp being poor.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You guys are making me sound like I'm an asshole.
No. It's not. No, it's not about that.
No,
we're addressing the reason why you collect. You said yourself. A lot of us, but the thing you want to collecting is it's the hunt, and then the anticipation for it, right? But when you have access, it takes away the hunt and the anticipation. So you got to kind of make that for yourself and open it. Like getting the figure once a week, that might do it, but that's not the same thing. Like you need something that you haven't had before, and what you need is, I can't get this, but I fucking want it, but I can't get it. You finally get it, you'll fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you're gonna do that, but that's just give it a try, I think.
The plan is right now, like I'm gonna obviously open like the shipping containers, but like I'm not gonna open any of them until I can figure out my So however long that takes, like I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this before things open. And I mean, like, I could overruled that I'm not going to buy anymore until I finish getting rid of the rest of these Transformers. I mean, that's not a bad idea either. But like, I didn't set out to sell these things to buy Star Wars, but it was a happy coincidence, and I blame Bobby and Chris and their bad influence on me. So
yo, we got to wrap this shit up, guys. Morning.
Okay.
I mean, you
what are you
guys
talking
continue
about, man?
talking.
It's only 2:10. I got to get up here in about 3 hours and.
I like that kind of shit, though. I don't like that kind of shit, bro.
So, anyway, good episode. This thing up so we can get out of here.
Definitely.
Anybody got anything to say before we wrap it up?
Everybody go check out the Show Us Your Toys group on Facebook, which is a Detox collector community. The rules are don't pitch anything that you're not ready to catch. And of course, check us out on TPub and pick up some of our merch. And we do have a new T-shirt coming at some point. I just got a lot of shit going on, but we do have a new T-shirt coming out soon. Here.
And the Just Hate It shirt.
Yeah, the Just Hate It. The Tyler Just Hate It shirt is coming very soon. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the scoreboard shirt.
Oh, I gotta work on that one. I haven't started working on that one yet.
Well, we're still missing the 0.5 shirt. I got to talk to Cody, see where he's at on the 5% shirt. We got all kinds of shirt
Cody
pokers
can
in
do
the
the
fire.
fucking 0.5 too if he's on the 5%. I mean, it's a fucking 5. You just change the fucking.
It'll have to be a different font, sir. Anyway,
that's all I got.
all
right. So, shout outs to the Cool Table Network, a collection of like-minded podcasts featuring Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolters 40K, Plastic Fanatics, Enter the Realm, Breaking the Mold, and Enter the Realm podcast. 8 Weeks, Stasis Lock, Shattered Cast Uncut, Fresh Communication, and Building Up to It. You can find Toy Detox on various social media platforms, including Twitter @_Toy Detox, on Instagram @Toy Detox, the Facebook page, Show Us Your Toy, www.toydetox.com. Also, check out our merch on
YouTube?
Public.
Garrett. Fucking Garrett.
Hey, man, Garrett, I almost nailed that.
He does not
Outro.
understand how Spiros has been trying to get this shit.
Yeah,
My bad.
that's all right.
I'm
We'll just
leaving
look
that
for a
in.
new outro next week, and we'll just play the old one this.
Wow. Way to go, Garrett.
Like,
Jesus
are we
Christ.
throwing shit?
Garrett, you're on a 1 week hiatus in the show.
All right, show's over. Let's get the fuck out.
Show's over,
Fuck it
guys.
up.